Okay, cool. It started.
We are live at the Matt Factory headquarters with Julian Flannery, Dalton Rosta, and the infamous Matt Layshaw. What's going on, guys?
Good.
What's up?
So we got a lot to talk about, obviously. There's a lot going on in the world. First, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Isaac Greeley and the Rehab Center. Matt, you want to give a shout out to your sponsor, your business?
Yeah, sure. Southside Boxing Club. Thanks to them for whatever, and Diamond Logistics. Those TV guys.
So
all of those.
first off, how's everybody doing with this coronavirus thing? Everybody doing good?
I'm doing good. It's just been, staying out of the gym's not always the best thing to do. You want to stay in shape and get after. So, I just can't wait to really get back into the gyms, have all the gyms be open.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's bullshit. By the way, if you're watching, this isn't going to be a podcast for kids. It might be a little bit of a couple 4-letter words. So, I'd say explicit language on the CD cover. But
if you're not cool with it, get the fuck off.
You're stupid. But
we're getting through it over on our end here. It's
Are you still training? Or you kicked everybody out of the gym? I mean, your gym's kind of like
I'm letting guys go down and work out like kind of by themselves if they want, And I'll do like occasional, like there was some people that I've been working with during the whole thing, and they're pretty much essentially quarantining themselves too. So, but I'm not doing much. I've been just kind of working here and there and staying home.
Yeah, I'm training too, but it's a secret where I'm training. I can't tell y'all. I can't tell y'all who I'm training with, but I'm training.
Well, good. I mean, if you're doing it, obviously, if you're not, not showing any symptoms of anything, and you're taking care of yourself, all the general hygiene. I don't know. Common sense sort of should prevail in this thing, but whatever.
So, big night last night, guys, right?
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy.
That's one of the better cards, top to bottom. That what I liked about it was how many times have you seen a card that's stacked on paper and then it's a dud when it
I mean, it's every time. It's usually
like
the cards.
Israel versus Yoel.
Right.
Awful.
Or there was I'm trying to think of some of the cards that had like some of the best lineups, and then the fights just ended up all just being kind of flat. I mean, that was definitely not last night. I was worried about that happening, but we lucked out, and I actually paid for it. So
Oh yeah, we paid for it too. Isaac Greeley paid for it. So
hey, thanks, Isaac.
But what is it, like $85 now? They're charging for them?
Yeah.
I think it was 65. Yeah, but you have to buy the ESPN Plus thing too.
Taxing.
Yeah. Right. Taxing. Especially because it's the only sport out right now. I'm just glad that there's sports, finally.
Yeah.
I'm sick of watching cornhole.
Did you guys have any problems with your ESPN Plus?
No, we got right on. I mean, I know people that did have problems. I think Cody did. Cody Law was
I did too. I got it eventually, but right away it was tough.
So, first off, what do you think Fight of the Night was? Dalton?
The main event.
Main event?
Yeah, Gagey versus Ferguson. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about Matt. But yeah, definitely that.
Yeah,
that was the war.
I think Ferguson, man, that guy got some bad luck. I mean, he's tough as nails, and he wants to fight. I understand that, but he kind of screwed himself there.
There's no that beef like hurts like 5 times now. It's never happened.
It's never happened. That fight is destined not to happen. And you know what? The crazy part is, in my opinion, I think that Ferguson is a worse matchup for Khabib, but Gaethje is a bad matchup for Ferguson.
I agree with that. I think
No,
you know,
I don't agree with that. I think that Gaethje has a better chance of beating Khabib just because of his wrestling and his takedown defense. It's like Khabib that has good wrestling against the cage, like really good wrestling against the cage without an open.
I mean,
is a
has
low
his,
single.
has his takedown defense been tested?
Nobody
When's the
will
last
shoot
time
on
he
him.
shoots? Exactly.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's
I
a-
mean, it's a
A
waste.
few people have gotten him down, but he doesn't stay down very long. I'm trying to think of who all.
Yeah,
WSOF?
Eddie Alvarez took him down.
Did Johnson take him down?
I think so.
Eddie Alvarez took him down. I think it was in the third round. It was kind of like a surprise. I think Dustin Poirier took him down late too, but they were only on the ground for like 10 seconds. He got right back up, even when he was exhausted. So
I just think it's
I wouldn't say he didn't stop the takedown, but he didn't stay down. So
yeah, but I just think that's one of those things where he doesn't care about getting taken down because he knows he's a good wrestler. He knows he can get back up. So
Yeah, but
he
getting up
doesn't
from
waste energy defending a takedown if they're in deep. He just goes with it, gets back up, and then gets back to banging. I mean, the dude, but he's a wrestler. But
Yeah,
the
but
dude
getting up from
loves to throw
Eddie
balls.
Alvarez is different from getting up from Khabib.
What?
Getting up from Eddie Alvarez is different than getting up from Khabib.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, we're still talking about two like elite fighters in their weight class. I mean, Eddie Alvarez isn't Khabib, and he ain't Gaethje either. I mean, he beat Gaethje, but like on the wrestling end of things, and just overall fight, I think he got lucky. Honestly, I think if they run it back, I think Gaethje wins every time.
I would probably agree, especially this new version, the more patient. He sets it up better. One of the things there was a lot of things that I took away from it, but he, obviously he's not just walking at everybody anymore. He's applying pretty smart pressure. His defenses got better. Like for the first like 10, not 10, I don't know. I watched him in World Series of Fighting too. I don't know if you guys paid attention to it.
That's where I started watching. I think I've seen all the fights.
Me too. And he was the only guy there to watch. So, but anyway, his defense went from essentially just durability. How many shots can he take before you break? So it started there. And then he was just covering up and he was blocking high. And that's why everybody was going to the body on him. That's why Poirier stopped him and Alvarez stopped him. Maybe not the only reason, but it definitely added to it because he was doing the high guard. Now he if you watch the way he was rolling with those shots, throwing leg kicks and coming back with a hook on it and then stepping off on an angle. I mean,
that leg kick to the
pretty high level shit for
the three. That was pretty cool.
He also, like, he's fighting a lot smarter. Back a few fights ago, he just didn't care about getting hit. He would sit there and bang with you. Now, like you said, he's being smarter. So I feel like if he fought intelligently, I think he's a more skilled fighter and more talented fighter than both Eddie Alvarez and Dustin Poirier. I think he beats them both.
But Eddie kind of out-toughed him, though. That's crazy to hear because you would never think that Eddie Alvarez would be able to,
that's the underground king, man.
Yeah, he is. He is good.
He's actually changed the loss since those two losses. I think he knows that he doesn't want to accumulate that much damage anymore against those high level fighters. Like, who was his first fight after Poirier? Was it Vic?
James Vick.
Yeah, was it James Vick?
I think so.
I mean, every fight since is two.
Yeah, I think that was his first fight, his first win coming off losses. But he's an exciting fighter. But question: if you're Gaethje, do you want to fight Khabib or Conor?
He said in the post. I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
And this is honestly like how I would see it playing out because I truly think that Gaethje could beat Khabib. That's my honest opinion. I know a lot of people are going to call me crazy. A lot of people are going to call me crazy.
No, I agree with you. I think his wrestling style was bad.
Yeah, the dude was a 3-time state champ wrestler in high school and a 4-time All-American in college. Like that's elite, about as elite as it gets in MMA. And yeah, Khabib's a good wrestler, but like if he can't get in on it, if he can't get you against the cage, his wrestling isn't all that great. Even Conor got away from him in the open a couple times. Like he shoots that low single when you're sweaty, you have no shoes on, there's nothing to grip. It's easy to get away from. Like I don't see him taking down Gaethje, and I see him getting knocked out or beat by Gaethje.
He'll definitely get taken down, but we'll see.
I see Gaethje Gaethje beating Khabib next, and then Conor getting a shot at the title against Gaethje.
I think Conor will start Gaethje.
Yes.
I think he'll start.
Yes, it's just stylistically, styles like make fights. They really do, and I think Gaethje's gonna beat Khabib, and then Conor's gonna beat Gaethje, and Conor's gonna end up back up on top of the weight class. But if Khabib were to beat Gaethje, then I don't think we see Conor possibly being a champion. I would love to see it, but like Khabib, that's just not a good like style matchup for.
But that, I mean, talking about styles, that's why I thought I was saying that Ferguson is a bad matchup for Khabib because I see Ferguson get taken down. Like most guys, they get taken down and they can't wear you down from the bottom. Ferguson's one of those guys where, like, if you take him down, especially in a 5-round fight, he might be on his back for 2 rounds, but he's doing damage or he's working, he's elbowing you. He can actually break you down from the bottom.
He takes a lot of damage though too. Like, and bro, like I've seen like he fought Cerrone and he blew Cerrone's face up. But look what Conor did to Cerrone. Look what Gaethje did to Cerrone. And then
But
you look at like he fought Pettis.
math doesn't work like
Yes,
that.
but then he fought Pettis, and Pettis would have beat him if Pettis didn't break his hand during the fight and had to quit. Like Pettis would have beat him. Pettis was beating Ferguson's ass. So
Just because he dropped him, I wouldn't say he was beating his ass.
Ferguson got lucky a few times against some good fighters, but he got lucky.
Oh.
He got lucky. His
I think
luck
just
ran
has
out
heart.
last night.
Heart and will.
His luck ran out last night. And no, but
I don't really like Ferguson.
I retract my comment about the Conor and Khabib fight because I think Conor can still knock Khabib out at any time. He just has to catch him. I think the first fight he was too worried about getting taken down, and he got away from his own offense. And it's like because he's fought wrestlers before. He's fought wrestlers before, and he's fought like Eddie Alvarez.
Khabib is not a normal wrestler, though.
Yeah, but
It's hard when you guys are all talking at the same time.
yeah, he's not a fucking wrestler. He's not even a wrestler. That's an insult to wrestling. Khabib's not a wrestler. He's not a wrestler. That's Sambo, and he dry humps you the entire time. He'll hump you for fucking 5 minutes straight, and then he'll throw 3 shots and hump you again. It's not exciting. It's not
He
exciting
finishes
at all.
everybody. What are you talking about?
It's not exciting. He doesn't finish everybody. He puts the shot in.
I think one of the things that Tony Ferguson. Okay, so you guys watch Calvin Kattar, right?
He doesn't choke you out. He's not finishing you, and he doesn't choke everybody out. I mean, I don't even think he's finished. He's probably finished about half the fight. So
Finished everybody.
And I feel like T. Ferg will better accumulate damage like the knees and stuff from the bottom, throw different submission attempts, and better like get scrambles back to the feet. And I don't think Ferguson would be afraid to be on the ground.
That's what I mean. That's why I think Ferguson would be a better matchup. But I mean, I like to see it. You know, if you're a wrestling fan, you appreciate wrestling. You know, to me, it's like, yeah, he does the same thing, but like you know what he's gonna do, and you still can't stop it. That's what's impressive.
If you're a wrestling fan, you appreciate wrestling. Khabib's style, that's not like it's wrestling, but it's not like the wrestling that I'm used to seeing. Like that.
He wrestled. He learned how to wrestle from DC. Like he comes from a solid background, but he still wrestles. Like, I still wrestle. I don't have a wrestling background.
Yeah, I know, but like his style of wrestling in the cage is more. It's definitely more. Like he's not exciting or like fucking. He's not an exciting wrestler by any means. Like he does things well enough. He does things well enough, but what high level wrestler have we seen Khabib against? We've seen a lot of other high wrestlers fight other high level wrestlers, but we're putting Khabib's wrestling on a pedestal. But when have we really seen it tested? He's fought all strikers. So let's put him up against another high-level wrestler and see how he does. Because Gaethje's a high-level wrestler. Let's see how he does against another high-level wrestler. Then we might see his wrestling get exposed.
Who?
Abel Trujillo.
What about the Sanchez? He ragdolled that dude, bro.
Let me just jump in here because I got a couple of things that I want to do. So one thing about Tony Ferguson that I say all the time to everybody that ever does MMA, because I've been involved in mixed martial arts before it was called MMA. Okay, so I've been watching it since it was 2 guys in like jorts and shit. The one thing that I've been waiting for everybody to catch up on is defense. Tony Ferguson is not defensively responsible at all. Okay, in mixed martial arts in 2020, keeping your hands at your shoulders and just trying to like tip your head out of the way doesn't work. And that was a perfect example of why not yesterday. he doesn't really care if he gets hit. I mean, he'll try to punch back or throw through it or kind of like slide his head out of the way, and that works against some of the UFC level caliber guys, but not guys like Justin Gaethje. You just can't. It's just like people who don't check low kicks.
Yeah.
You just not. You can't have a career like that. Eventually, if they're able to find you, somebody's going to hit you, and he got tagged all night. So I also, whenever we're talking about Khabib in your, I use one of the bars I use for people who have had some success against him is Ally Quinta, because he came in on short notice and gave him a lot of problems.
Full camp.
He's not a wrestler, like not an elite wrestler.
Right. Yeah, right. He's not an elite wrestler, but what he did was he just sort of went out there and wasn't worried about what Khabib was doing, and he made what Khabib wanted to do more difficult by scrambling in certain not hitting the floor, hitting the fence and staying there. He kept working his way back up, had some success on the feet, and I feel like in a lot of ways that was the blueprint. I mean, he wasn't able to do it, but Justin Gaethje's got. He obviously his striking is significantly better. Okay, I don't think anybody's going to argue that Khabib and Justin Gaethje are on the same playing field in terms of striking. Khabib's basically holding people down and punching them in the face till they quit or break. I don't know. I just don't. I mean,
I'll agree with his top pressure is really good, but I don't agree.
But I just don't see. I don't. After what I saw last night, I don't see how he beats Gaethje unless he just holds him down.
He doesn't wrestle during his fights, but he can if he has to. That's like Yoel Romero is an Olympic level wrestler. When have you ever seen him wrestle? He shot a couple takedowns in Israel, but when do you ever see Yoel Romero wrestle during fights? When do you see John Jones is another high level wrestler? He doesn't wrestle unless he has to. DC doesn't wrestle unless he has to. I mean, they wrestle though, but a good example of that is Yoel Romero. Made it to the Olympics, Olympian, and he does not wrestle during his fights, but he is a better wrestler.
But they all wrestle more than Gaethje.
Better than Khabib. He's better than Khabib.
I never see Gaethje.
So far. Yeah. Let's go. Let's just we're going to spend 25 minutes talking about Khabib, and he's the most boring guy that we got. So what about Cejudo and Cruz? What did you guys think about that?
I thought it was a bad stoppage. To be honest with you, it's a tough job. The referee's obviously a thankless job. But if the guy's coming up and he has his feet underneath him, like I think that you got to give him a chance to recover, especially in a title fight with that caliber.
I think when you accumulate all those shots like that and you're not
but if you actually watch
intelligently defending yourself,
he threw 8 shots, but only 2 shots actually landed.
Yeah, but from the ref standpoint, you know how bad that looks, though. It's like
just let it. But hold on, real quick though. If you guys both talk at the same time, we might as well not even do it because the microphone's not good enough to catch both of you, and it just sounds like one kind of mess. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't want to. At least on my end, I can't hear what either one of you are saying when you talk at the same time.
I was just saying, I think there's accumulation of shots. Like I think it was a good stoppage because he wasn't intelligently defending himself. But I get it though. Like Dom said, a lot of the shots probably have missed. So, I mean, but from a referee standpoint, like if you think you see a guy get hit 10 times in a row, like, and the defender's not protecting himself, you got to call it.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, it's a thankless job. It's a reaction, but I think if he's getting up, you got to let him fight.
What did you think, Dalton?
I fell asleep during that. I was up for like 40 hours straight. That's the only fight I missed. I watched it going. I watched all the prelims. I watched the main event. That's the only fight I missed. I mean, I really wasn't too excited for that fight either. I mean, I'm not a fan of Cejudo. Like, I'm not. And he keeps like complaining about his pay grade, but he's not exciting, and like not many people like him. But I mean, I was watching like replays and stuff of it, and I think it was an early stoppage.
I see both ends of it. I think in my opinion, if there's an issue with the stoppage, it's when it happened. Because if you're debating on whether Cruz was okay or not, there was like 3 seconds left in the round.
Yeah.
So, if you're a ref and you're not sure, you could have just let this thing go and he's going to have a whole minute to recover. If it was deep into, like, if say it was only 2 minutes in or something, he's against the fence, then I feel like people aren't factoring in the fact that he got kneed in the face first and he ducked into it. So, like, if you're looking at just the punches, no, probably not. Or probably was on the line. But, I mean, getting kneed in the face like that, he got knocked on his ass. He was out, maybe not out, but he was definitely hurt. And then, you know, he wasn't defending himself after.
He was hurt, but he never went limp. He's like, he was coming up. That's the thing to me. If the guy's coming up, especially in a title fight, like in a regular fight, 3-round fight, maybe I'd say, yeah, it was good stuff. It's not bad. But in a title fight, man, you gotta let that play out.
Yeah.
I agree on that end of it.
It was short time left, and it's a title fight, and it's against
3
two
seconds.
very high level fighters. You gotta let that go to the end of the round. I mean, if he gets knocked out cold, what's the difference between if he gets knocked out cold with 3 seconds left and the professional athletes? They know what they signed up for. What's the difference if he gets knocked out cold then or if he gets knocked out cold on his feet? I mean, like I said, I think it's a bad stoppage. The only stoppage that I think might have been worse than that is when Askren got kneed by Masvidal.
Hey, you got some jokes, huh? Hey, okay, so what do you think about Ngannou and Rosenstrike? Is that how they say it? Rosenstrike.
Yeah, Rosenstruck.
Ngannou is the scariest man I've ever seen in my life.
And that freaking Rosenstruck was like knocking guys out. Like his last fight before that, he knocked the dude out in 7 seconds. Like he was like people were looking at him as like kind of like another Ngannou, but I picked Ngannou to win that one. I didn't think it was going to be that fast, but I thought he was going to win. I thought it was going to be more of like you know how when Ngannou and Derek Lewis fought and they were like filling each other out. I thought it was going to be like that, but I felt like Ngannou, because that happened to him before, was going to push the pace a little bit more, and I thought it might have been like a second round stoppage. But not in the first round, not that early.
Not the first combo. Wow,
I want to see it. I really want to see that Ngannou Stipe match, rematch. I don't know about Stipe and DC. I can't see DC fighting Ngannou. Even if he wins that.
If I was DC, I'd be like, no way.
I would see it being Stipe and Ngannou for a vacant title shot, or it would be if Stipe wins and Ngannou with a rematch. I want to see that, man.
I think that's Styles. I think Stipe beats him again. I want to see Ngannou knock DC out.
DC
I want to see him,
bro. No
what
way.
you say?
DC ain't gonna fight him.
Yeah, DC would never fight him, but I want to see that fight. You could knock DC the hell out. Yeah, I'd love every second.
See, I don't know if it's because I'm a boxing guy or whatever, but I will agree with everybody that Ngannou was a very scary guy, and that was that knockout felt dangerous, right? I felt like he was significantly hurt, and Rosenstruck was in a very vulnerable position when he was unconscious and he was still getting hit. But Ngannou was he executed that so poorly. He threw 6 punches running forward with his chin up in the air. He got clipped with the hook. His right hands were just like weird kind of pawing shots. He forced it, okay? And I don't think that's going to get it done against better guys. I mean, I don't think if he runs at Stipe Miocic like that, it's just going to be just what Stipe did to Verdum. It's going to be he's going to step back. He's either going to check hook, step back right hand, or he's not even going to get anywhere near him. So I'm impressed. It's impressive. I get it. It was a brutal shot. I mean, he knocked him dead. No question. But
it's one of those things where like he's so scary and he has so much power that he gets away with things like that because people are scared to get hit by him. They just worry about backing up and getting out of the way. Yeah, and I mean that's another thing is reach. But like a lot of people are scared to get hit, so they just back up and try to get out of the way. They're like constantly under pressure and constantly nervous and don't know when that finishing blow is coming. So he gets away with a lot of things. That's why he got away with that too. But I agree with you, Matt. And I think that's a big reason why Stipe would beat him. Stipe beat him before. He has the confidence to do it again. And I mean, I think he's definitely a more polished striker, more polished fighter. And I don't think Ngannou would get away with stuff like that against Stipe. And also, as Dom said, Stipe has wrestling background. He can just take him down.
Yeah, but
just like you did before.
I think Stipe fought him at a good time. I'm sure Ngannou's working on his wrestling. It's got to be a harder fight. I don't think it'll be the same fight. It's going to be a harder fight for Stipe, but I still think Stipe.
I just think that because Ngannou was so green in the grappling, he had maybe 3 years of wrestling going into that point. And I mean, like,
I'll tell you
he's
what.
got a few more years with some high level guys. I mean, I'm not saying he's not Stipe level grappling, obviously, but I feel like he's gonna better fend off some takedowns and keep him on the feet. You just gotta hit him a couple times.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I don't like though. How about after the fight where Dana said that like if Stipe won't fight because of the whole pandemic that's going on right now, then the heavyweight division is gonna have to move on. Like what happened? Like he beat DC. He won the title, and when was that fight? When was that fight?
They have been hoping for him to just kind of fall out of the picture since he won the belt.
Yeah,
he beats everybody. They're obviously trying to build up other people. Stipe beats him. He's not great on camera. It's not like he's bad on camera. He just doesn't he just doesn't have an it factor. There's nothing. His fighting is fantastic, but his personality is just kind of it's like a chalkboard.
So I avoid.
Wow. Did you get that text? I'm not gonna put that on there, but yeah, Stipe. I just don't like how he said the heavyweight division is gonna have to move on when Stipe's last fight was for the belt, and the only reason he's not fighting right now is because of the corona. But Khabib can sit there and say, like, Dana will try to force the Conor fight onto him. He's like, no, I'm not fighting Conor. I'm not fighting Conor. Ali's like, I'm not fighting Conor. But if there's nobody left for Khabib to fight except for Conor, they're just going to let Khabib keep the belt until somebody else comes along and wants to fight Khabib or somebody earns a shot against Khabib. So Khabib can sit around for a year and not fight, not defend his belt because he doesn't want to defend it against Conor. But Stipe's out for 6 months and two of it from the coronavirus, and the heavyweight division is going to move on. I just don't like it. I don't like it.
Do you think that's because Khabib's a bigger star?
Khabib is a bigger star because he beat Conor.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean, people knew who he was. I mean, he's very dominant in the way he fights and what he does. But like, if you take social media is like a good indicator of how popular somebody is, like as a fighter. Before he fought Conor McGregor, he had less than 1 million followers on Instagram. And I mean, we're still talking like 800,000, 900,000, still a lot. Like you're still famous at this point. But he fought Conor McGregor, beat him, and then after the next day, literally in 24 hours, the man has 15 million followers on Instagram. It's ridiculous. Like Conor made him into a star, and that's what Conor does every single time he fights somebody. As long as it's a good fight, or in this case, if you beat him.
So I just gotta let's go to Hardy and DeCastro only because I got a set amount of time. Because it's Mother's Day, I gotta do mother stuff. So if it's okay, I don't.
No worries.
Do you want to talk about Greg Hardy and Jorgen? Oh, if that's how you pronounce it, Jorgen DeCastro. Did you guys obviously? What did you think about that?
I don't really like Hardy.
I don't like Hardy either. I'm waiting for someone to clean this shit.
I don't understand why the UFC pushes guys like that, man. I mean,
because he's a heel. I mean, he's a bad guy. So it's one of those things where the two strongest emotions are love and hate. If you can't make the fans love you, you better make them hate you. So if they hate you and you're the main event for a card, people are still going to buy that pay-per-view because they want to see you get knocked out.
But I feel like they should have been the main event of the prelims, and Pedersen and Cerrone should have been on the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But
you have two legends, two big names in the sport that's on the prelims.
But Matt, what do you think the reasoning is that? I was talking to Isaac about it last night. I think the only reason they didn't put Pettis and Cerrone on the pay-per-view is because in their contract it probably says that they get pay-per-view points. So they were like, we'll just put them as the main event. Whereas Hardy doesn't get any pay-per-view points, he just gets a set pay. And so they put those guys up there.
If I had to, Pettis and Cerrone being on the undercard, it's probably to try to, attract people to watch it like the ESPN and then buy the pay-per-view. It's probably like, there's probably a bunch of different reasons, but that's probably like number one. And then they're trying to build Hardy up because of the NFL background, and he's a provocative guy. Every time he fights, there's articles, positive and negative, about him. Everybody talks about him. It's like,
some of this is fun.
dude. So that I mean, whether you like it or not, that's what this is. So, they're going to play up to that, and he sort of has treaded. He's like treading water. He's not. Sorry, my dog kicked the door. He's treading water. He has enough skills to kind of edge these things out, but not enough to really look good doing it. The kid had a broken foot. He's lucky that dude broke his foot. That's all I got to say.
When you fight somebody like Ngannou, I feel bad for him. Because he's relying on athleticism and power. He's going to Ngannou who has both of those and more, and then skill on top of it, and he's just going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble.
You're going to athlete people so far.
Yeah. But he's lost. I mean, he's not beat up. Didn't he win a fight?
Okay, let's talk about Calvin Kattar and Jeremy Stevens real quick, and then I'm going to
Jeremy Stevens.
I can't take him seriously anymore. I can't after the Connor thing. Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the fuck is that guy?
I can't take him seriously.
I feel like he and he came off. A few guys came off looking bad in this after this event. I feel like Tony Ferguson pushing Justin Gaethje away looked bad. I feel like Dominic Cruz disputing and complaining and everything. For a guy who calls everybody out on complaining and making excuses, it's really fucking ironic that he's the one doing it now. And I think that Jeremy Stevens looks bad. He talked all that shit. He's the first guy to tell you how good he is. He's the first guy to tell you how professional he is, and you know what you're going to get, and it's a war, and blah, 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 blah. And he shows up 5 pounds overweight, and then he gets knocked into the fucking Stone Age. I mean, and it's the same Jeremy Stevens every time. I get it. That's why they book him, because he shows up and he swings hard punches and he walks at people. But, in 2020, you're going to get finessed against like almost everybody now. That shit works on the regional scenes and it works at like the bottom levels. But I mean, Kattar can fight. That dude was reading those shots. Like some of those right hands he was hitting him with. Like I don't know how he was. It looked like he was going to like legit just knock him over.
What do you guys think about like the twister that Bryce Mitchell kept trying? He tried like 3 or 4 times and played.
I missed that fight.
I watched. I came in the second round, and I like Rosa. To see him dominate him like that was pretty interesting. I didn't realize he was like that good.
He grinded.
Yeah, dude, he put him in the same move 4 times.
Yeah, I think Bryce Mitchell's a great character. I like watching all of his interviews and all the shit he says on the internet. I get a kick out of it. So, I'm generally optimistic about everybody. I don't really have anybody I don't like, but it's either like neutral or whatever, or I really like him. And Bryce Mitchell is in that category. I pay attention to what he says. I think it's funny that he's like from Arkansas and he plays up like the redneck bullshit and all that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and Charles Rosa was a step up. I mean, he's a step up. So.
Yeah, so let's move on to Pettis and Cerrone. Did Pettis look fat to anybody?
Yes. First thing I was watching my buddy Mike Molinaro. First thing he said was like, "Ooh,
how did he make
Pettis looks chunky too."
Is that fight at 55?
70.
I think so. Was it?
Or was that 70?
170. Yeah. He always looks bad at 170. I feel like Pettis anyway.
You don't got a big enough frame for 70, I don't think.
Yeah.
He just puts it all in the lower gut.
Yeah, he just to make it, he just doesn't diet basically.
His body was a rectangle.
I think I'm just going to say this point, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop off. You guys can keep going. I got to get my kids and stuff ready because we're going somewhere. But I don't want to cut it short. You guys can talk about whatever you want. I thought, Cerrone really needs to humanize his opponents. I don't know if you picked up on that or not, but like in between rounds, he was hugging them and like, "Hey man, come on," whatever. And I get it that they're like buddies or whatever, but like that's a move, right? Hey, you're throwing real hard, you're kicking real hard, and like I get it, but like you're not pissed off, and like and then Pettis knocks him, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, cool. We're still good.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Say again?
had a nice eye poke on him.
He really did. He really did. And
Yeah.
As a fighter, you can't when the combination's still being thrown after that, and you're still in the middle of it. You can't back away and then do this and expect the ref to step in and stop
but
it.
it was
At
a
that point,
play.
but in real time, it looks like you're hurt, not like you got poked in the eye. You can't do that.
But as a
Expect the ref to
fighter,
stop it.
he should have known he poked in the eye.
Yeah, but in a fight, like we're talking about our livelihood here. For one, two.
And it's also not on you to call your own foul. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you poke a guy in the eye and you know you did it, you're not going to stop if the ref doesn't see it. It's just like anything else.
Yeah,
I like Pettis' style. You know, he's a total counter everything, counter defensive submissions off his back. That's always ever, submitted anybody with. It's all counter striking on his feet. And it's kind of interesting how they built him, right? It's all this like flashy, sort of unpredictable techniques, but at the end of the day, it just hides his like basic shit. So he'll do these like jumping front kicks and shit. None of it'll land, and then he'll land a nice straight right hand, or he'll land like good solid jabs. And it seems like if he just went out and kickboxed like normally, I mean, maybe that's why he does it, because none of it lands for him when he doesn't. But like, if he would just go out and jab and set it up, like I feel like he would have at least a more predictable outcome. It feels like he has to drag these guys. Like, think about all the fights he's won recently. Stephen Thompson, like that was a war. He was losing it. And then he does this, push off the, the little Superman punch off the cage thing and lands a shot. He hasn't really, I don't feel like he's won a fight that he's been in the lead on in a while. I could be wrong because I don't like study his career or anything. But, it feels like he's always reacting to everybody. And then, like, if it doesn't work out great for him usually, not usually, but you see what I'm saying? So, like, he lets these guys work for a while and tries to find his opportunities instead of, like, taking the lead off them.
One thing about Pettis, though, I notice he does come up with a lot of excuses. Like, every time he'll be like, oh, I broke my hand, and then it comes out he didn't break his hand. Or I broke my rib, and then he ends up not breaking his rib.
Hey, listen, I'm going to jump off. You guys can stay on. I'm going to pop back down in a second, okay?
All right.
All right. Hey, thanks. It was good chatting with you. It was fun.
So,
See you, bro.
Matt had to leave for a minute, so you guys just have me, Julian, and Dalton. Yeah, all in all, good night of fights. I think it was nice to have sports on TV again.
Been too long.
Way too fucking long. I can't wait to get back in there.
Yeah, I mean,
So let's go back to talk more about a little bit about what we have going on. So, Dawn, you're obviously top 10 in Bellator. What's your plans on? Are you gonna stay at 205? Or you go down to 185?
I'm going down 185.
Next fight, definitely.
Yeah.
You have anybody?
Right now, I'm only weighing 198, so I'm only 12 pounds over the limit for non-championship fight. So, I mean, as you know, you could lose that in a day.
Yeah.
If it comes down to it, if you need to. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't do it that way, but I'm definitely 85 pound, and I've just been fighting at 205. I did it as an amateur, kind of just like so I wouldn't stress my body, enjoy it, have fun with it before I turned pro, and put my body through more hell than I already was. But definitely going 85.
You got anybody you want to fight?
Yeah, I want to fight a couple other prospects in the division. Jordan Newman is one I see. He's 2-0. Two-time NCAA champ wrestler. And then Romero Cotton as well. Also want to fight him. And then there's a couple other guys that like 6-0, 4-0 that I can't remember their names off the top of my head, but really any of those guys right away.
Nice. What about you, Julian? When you think you're going to get back in there?
I'm trying to get back in there as soon as possible. I mean, I'm just learning, grinding, trying to get better, taking it step by step. Still an amateur, so I got a lot of growth.
How many fights do you think you're going to do as an amateur?
I don't know, because I had kind of planned like for this year to be extremely busy. Like I want to have like jiu-jitsu tournaments, a bunch of fights, boxing, maybe kickball. I just wanted to like really like start to push the pace, start getting bouts in, and every aspect, especially MMA. But Corona is messing everything up. So I mean, as far as region, it's different. Like you guys, Bellator and stuff like that. You guys can see the organization can probably go without the fans. For regional MMA, like without fans, there's no fights.
Yeah.
You need those people to buy tickets to show up. So I don't know when things are going to get back together, but I mean, I'm getting back into it, and I'm just excited to see what opportunities are ahead.
Now, how many fights do you have as an amateur? Because you have kickboxing matches and MMA fights, and I mean, if we count jiu-jitsu, and we weren't getting some competitions, I know you have a lot.
10 guys bailed out against him.
Yeah, I mean, as MMA, I'm 2-0. Pretty spaced out fights. I've had like 15, 14 people back out. You guys know the deal. You know how that is at the amateur level.
Yeah.
And so I've had my fair share of guys back out. I'm 1-0 in kickboxing, and I do a fight to win and scout grappling events and stuff like that. And I just really try to stay active. And I didn't grow up with a wrestling background or any type of combat background, so I like to compete in everything and try to just improve my overall skills. I know I'm really green in a lot of areas and got a lot to improve on.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing more jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah.
I want to do a boxing match too. Just want to do a boxing match.
I was talking to Isaac about doing Cleveland. They're having, I think it's July 11th.
Was it
Fight to
MMA?
win?
No, a boxing match.
Is it pro MMA or
WFC?
just?
WFC, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was thinking about trying to do that. I
Yeah,
mean, who
Matt,
knows?
His shows are nice.
I mean, who knows without
That's my last fight.
how all this is going to play out? Like when stuff will better be sanctioned. But
Yeah. Hopefully it
I'm
ends
trying to
soon.
get on the first stuff.
What you guys been eating?
Last night I ate some pizza. I had like probably 16 slices myself.
I had some pizza last night too.
Yeah, I had pizza. And I also had some ice cream. I had some more pizza. But I've been eating meal prep. I got a meal prep company that I go to. They sponsor me, YoFresh, and I've been eating clean. I've been eating their stuff, and it's good food and stuff. But like last night, it was kind of a special occasion. You know, fights. You don't get fights often, and I mean, I was kind of living. Last night I had all the things I love in one spot at once. I had the boys, I had pizza, I had women, and I had fights. So I was living. And I can't forget the caffeine.
Living your best life. Living your best life.
Yeah.
What kind of bang did you drink?
It wasn't a bang. I drank a lit, actually.
Oh,
Lit.
you switched it up.
Yeah, I did.
If anybody knows Dalton, they know that he's rarely seen without a bang in his hand.
I got dog.
He got me on the bang.
addicted. I got dog addicted. We went down Florida. Me and Isaac went down Florida to train a year and a half ago. Whenever he was down there with Hard Knocks.
That cotton candy got me, dog. That cotton candy is so good.
We stopped at the gas station one day, and I just kept talking about it. He's like, I was the only one that went in. I was like, bro, you want one? He was like, forget it, get me one. He's like, what flavors do they have? And I told him, and he said, give me the cotton candy. So
Banging.
yeah, I brought it out. Gave
Bang
it to him.
is banging.
Next time I seen him when he came back home to train at the mat factory, he walked in the locker room with a bag in his hand.
They are good. I feel like a different person whenever I take one. You know?
Yeah.
I drink one in the morning and like all happy and stuff.
Yeah, caffeine improves my mood. I can be in the worst mood as soon as like I start getting snappy and stuff. That like just in any situation, I take caffeine and I'm fucking happy as hell.
You drink, Brandon? You drink any energy drinks?
I don't really do the energy drinks. I'm a coffee guy, so that works for me. If I'm a little lethargic in the morning, drinking some coffee, I'll be good. As far as eating, though, I mean, I haven't been eating bad. It's just I'm a bored eater, and my girl has been cooking a lot of good meals for me. It's like my portion sizes have been pretty big. And,
What's your favorite
I
food?
love it.
My favorite food? I love me some good salmon.
Hey,
Good
what's
salmon,
up, buddy?
scallops.
They're saying hi. Hey, Dom, whenever you guys, just shoot me a text when you're done. I'm just getting them ready. I just wanted to pop back in real quick.
No worries. Is that Dax?
Yeah, that's Tyson.
What's up, Tyson?
What's up, little man?
Say hi. All right, I'm going to pop off. I'm going to have my phone, though. Shoot me a text, and then whenever you guys are done, okay?
Yes, sir.
I might pop back in one more time. I'll bring you another one.
All right.
Hey,
Hey, how's it
What's
going?
up?
hey! I like the new setup.
We're doing a podcast.
Oh, am I interrupted?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
you're right,
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
okay, but it's all right.
I'm gonna go make lesson plans.
The boss of the Map Factory just walked in.
Oh, you can't tell where we're at, bro.
We're not training.
Sanitation crew.
Yeah, we're sanitizing the gym. So we're at the Map Factory headquarters, talking about the UFC, talking about Corona, talking about what we eat, what we've been eating. I've been eating everything.
Oh,
Everything.
Everything.
You guys would never guess what dog weighs. Go ahead, tell everybody. Tell everybody what you weigh, bro. Listen, I'm a 205 pounder, and I weigh 198 right now. Dom's a 135 pounder. He's a bantamweight. And
179.
179. Fat as hell.
It'll come off quick. I got a fast metabolism. So, it is what it is. We're about, so the restaurants are closed. You've been cooking. No movies open. Nothing to do. This drives me crazy. I'm usually going to movies 2-3 times a week.
You went to the movies that often.
Yeah.
You're bored on a normal basis, bro. God damn.
I'm a
There ain't
movie
even that many
junkie.
good movies coming out on a weekly basis.
You probably
I
watched the
see 'em
same
all.
3.
No, I see them all. What's the best movie you've seen lately?
Ever?
Lately.
Lately? I haven't watched any.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Avengers Infinity War on Netflix recently.
Oh,
I love that movie. That's probably the
That's
greatest movie of all time. I like it more than Endgame.
Your favorite is probably Captain America.
No, it's not. Why would you say that?
Because he's the worst.
No, Batman's the worst.
Well, that's DC. I like Batman better than Superman.
What? I'm signing off, guys. Sure.
He's stupid. But yeah.
I still can't believe you just said you like Batman better than Superman.
Batman.
Oh, yeah, he's just rich.
Yeah, he's the man.
He's
Superman's
rich.
like
He
a little.
creates things that help him. Fight.
Superman's like a
He ain't shit.
little kid superhero. Like, if I would have made him up, I'd be like, I shoot lasers out my eyes and fly. Plus,
He dresses in a bat suit.
He'd be getting his ass
Just
whooped by the
think about
Joker.
that, bro.
Batman beat Superman.
Yeah, that you really think that would really happen? You think he's gonna have?
It's fucking
Superman-
superheroes, bro.
yeah.
None of it would really
If
happen.
Superman, bro, if Superman was really evil, like he was trying to like force everybody
He
to think he
outsmarted
was
him. He
evil.
hit him with the
No, but
fucking.
if he was really evil, like he was making him out to be and trying to tell everybody that he was evil, right away before he had a chance to get kryptonite, before he had a chance to prepare for months and months and months, fucking. And Superman, when he was fighting him, he wasn't even trying to kill him. He was just like, I just need to talk to you. He was just trying to talk to him. All if he wanted to kill him, all he had to do was shoot him with his
Talking
lasers.
about Batman.
All he had to do was shoot him with his lasers. He freaking like cuts through an iceberg with lasers.
Well, that's the
And
point.
Batman's
He
just
won't
rich.
kill anybody.
He's just rich. He's just rich.
So is Iron Man.
Yeah, but at least Iron Man can fly.
Yeah, Iron Man is sick.
yeah, yeah, freaking Batman. There's nothing about him.
I'm not
He dresses
really-
like a bat. At least Iron Man got a freaking cool suit.
I'm not a real big DC fan in general, but I definitely like Batman better than Superman.
Have you guys seen Extraction on Netflix?
No.
No, I started watching it, but I didn't
Bro,
watch it.
everyone's
That was
everyone's
Thor?
getting killed in it.
Is that with Thor?
Yeah, whatever his acting name, whatever his real name is. Yeah,
Hemsworth or whatever.
yeah.
Chris
That's with
Hemsworth.
him in there. He
It's
goes
pretty good?
crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. He goes crazy. He going all throughout things like India or wherever it is, just killing everybody.
Gotta check it out. New season of Ozark's out. I gotta check that out.
I just I'm on like episode 10 or the first season. I'm really liking it.
Oh, it's good.
I haven't checked that out. What's it about?
Ozark?
Yeah.
Drug dealing?
An accountant for a cartel.
Yeah.
So it's like a different side. Like Narcos, you see like the actual cartel.
I never watched
It's
Narcos
not-
either.
Well, it's just Mexican gangsters
I watched-
smuggling millions of dollars.
The shows I watch are Supernatural, Lucifer. Lucifer's a really good one. I just got finished with that. That's about it.
That's it.
All I watch.
You don't have Netflix?
No, I have Netflix, but I don't watch very many shows. Oh, I mean, I watched originals too, the originals, and
House of Paper, watch out.
then I play Call of Duty and I'm a dog at it. I'm a dog.
I can't play video games. I'm not a gamer. But what games you play? Call of Duty, you said?
Yeah, Call of Duty.
You come out with the new one yet?
Yeah, but recently I've been playing Black Ops 3, playing the Zombies Chronicles on there. And then I play Fortnite and
Fortnite's
then
ruining the
UFC
world.
3. And I bought Madden when it came out, like literally a week after it came out, and I played it twice. I can't do it.
I think I played
Sucks.
Madden since Troy Polamalu was on the
Madden's been the same
That was
since
NFL 10,
2012.
right?
field.
Pretty much. I mean, the graphics changed a little bit, but everything about the game's been the same since
The players changed.
2012.
That's crazy. Not surprised
And
though.
I play a lot of UFC 3. That's actually how I get good at fighting. I steal all the moves that I use on there. I practice my combos. So I'm not practicing in real life. I'm just practicing on the video game. It's like, oh, that worked. I'm going to do that in practice. And then if it works in practice, I do it in the fight.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm not joking.
And Uriah Hall, he's the one who talks about how he got into fighting from playing Tekken as a little kid. Like, he would say like his parents couldn't afford to get him to go to classes, so he would like play Tekken and try to do all the crazy kicks that
He's
he could do.
Tekken. He fights like he's Tekken.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Real quick shout out to Chris Dempsey. He's going through a lot right now. Just lost his sister. We love you, Big Demps.
Love you, bro.
We're praying for you, buddy.
Love you, big dog.
He's one of them good. Dempsey's one of them guys. He's always a good teammate. He's always there to help you train, and really underrated grappler.
We hate each other, actually, me and him. Not really. He hates that he loves me. He actually told me that. He hates that he loves me.
So, you've been training with Simon or Lou?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm supposed to be putting it out there.
I mean, you don't say where you've been training.
Yeah, but yeah, me and Simon.
Lou's my dude.
Me and
He's a
Simon
funny-
been training together a lot. And then I haven't seen Lou in a week and a half. I went down there. Me and Dempsey went down there and trained. And I mean, besides that, I mean, he's been really following the Corona rules. I mean, really.
I'm about to just say fuck it and make Isaac go to the gym.
I don't think he's gonna do that.
There's a thing going around this town that like the all the business owners are getting together and they're just planning on if they don't have
Mass
this
opening,
open.
if you
Yeah.
you can't arrest them all.
Exactly. They're planning
I
on
mean,
just
you really
having
can't. What
apps
are you gonna
open for all the businesses. I mean, this is just it's crazy. It's shut down. They shut down the country. To me, like there's no point. Like all the people that are healthy enough to go out are all going to the same place anyways. Everybody has to go to the grocery store, you know. So they should just keep everybody. If you're at high risk, stay home.
Yeah, quarantine the ones that are at risk.
I don't think
I
it's-
agree. I definitely agree. But I see like people are scared, like as a whole, like to quarantine everybody. But sooner or later, the economy is going to tank so much that people can't pull themselves out. And a lot of small business owners, like very small business owners, like MMA gyms, for example. Chris Hustleton's coach.
Oh hell.
Yeah, just shut his gym down. Like, and these guys not only rely on that to like pay for their mortgages for their home and pay for their cars, but also to feed their families and like just live. You shut down that business, you're not bringing any revenue in. Yeah, they're saying, oh, we'll forgive any payments that aren't paid right now. It won't affect your credit. But as soon as this is all over, I want all 3 to 4 mortgage payments paid up front. It's like, all right, well, how's he supposed to pay all those up front if he had no income in that time? How's he supposed to pay his gym bills? How's he supposed to pay his mortgage on his gym building, the mortgage on his home, his car? His car's getting in repo. He's going to forfeit on all his mortgages. He's going to have to move out, get a job, probably make him. I mean, I don't know if the person has a degree or not. They'd be better off. But a lot of these people started from the ground up, and they started from nothing, and they built something for themselves, and it's like inspiring. But then something like this happens, and it goes to crap, and then they have nothing. And it's like they built this good life for their family, and now it's just being ripped away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not cool, man. I can't say much. I'm blessed I can still keep my businesses open. You know, the restaurant is doing good. People are buying more beer than ever at this time. So I can't really complain, but I feel bad for a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I think Tommy's gonna have to shut his gym down too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, would he be able to get by this month if they opened it up like June? Because they're talking about June 4th.
Yeah, they keep saying it, and they just keep pushing it back to me. It's just like
It just depends if we get into that yellow zone. It has to be like I think under 50 per 100,000 per capita like cases, and that's how you get down to the yellow zone.
yeah, but they're
Lawrence
saying
County, where I'm at right now, is in the yellow zone. Like we haven't had a new case in 8 days, I think. Like one new case, Lawrence County.
but like they're saying anything, like people are dying in fires and they're blaming it on Corona.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
dying of a pneumonia and saying that it was a corona.
Different
a
respiratory
corona.
problems and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
they just get marked down.
Like I actually know somebody whose grandparent or grandpa or grandma wanted to die from the coronavirus. I'm not going to say any names, but I don't want to put their business out there like that. But they had pneumonia, like was diagnosed by the doctor with pneumonia. When he passed away, they wrote it off as a corona death. So they're pumping these numbers up a little bit, with more fear in the economy. Or not.
I'm just popping in on this, but I can tell you, we have a friend whose husband passed away. It was from something completely unrelated, and they marked it as the coronavirus. And she's not the insurance, life insurance policy would not cover pandemics, so they're not covering any of her stuff. She had to hire lawyers and all kinds of stuff to fight it because of the way it was listed. It was like I don't remember exactly how it died, but had nothing.
Wow, that's
Because
another whole
all-
side of the story that people don't even know. Like I didn't even know that. Know that.
Yeah,
It's
but
insane. Just so the hospitals can make a couple bucks, they're screwing the little guy. Just like
yeah, and all it takes is for a probability of it being the coronavirus. They don't even have to prove it. If you die during this pandemic and there's a probability that you might have had it, a possibility, they write it off as a coronavirus. It's ridiculous.
yeah, it's not cool.
I think the hard part is though, like, I mean, most of the healthy people, I mean, are like out and about, going shopping and stuff. It's obviously the at-risk people that everyone's worried about, but it's like there's still normal people who are asymptomatic that are going home with their older relatives or people who have respiratory problems and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, keep the at-risk people at home, but it's like, I don't know. I just think it's a very hard situation to juggle, and there's really no right answers.
Yeah. Another thing about this, though, I don't know if like anybody that's going to be watching this or if you guys agree with me or not, but a lot of the people that are getting sick, they're getting sick with a normal common cold, or they might have the flu, or they might be having allergies, and they're so scared because of what the media is portraying it as that they're going to the hospital, and everybody's flooding the hospital and doctors' offices and all these other things, getting tested for the corona. And they're going to the place where they're going to get it the most. Because you know how many people that have had the corona, all these people that are being tested, millions in the United States, gone to the hospital, get tested. Yeah, they sanitize these places, but then some of these doctors and nurses, they're getting the corona, and then they're passing it on to the next patient that comes that day to get tested. And then they pass it on to the next person. Those people that end up getting infected go home and pass it on to their family. And their family doesn't know that they have it or not yet. And the test that they got before they actually got the coronavirus, it comes back negative for corona, but then they're spreading it at work or wherever they're going because they think they're safe because they tested negative. But really, they went to the hospital, got tested, and then they're walking away and tested negative for the coronavirus, but end up catching it from the damn hospital. Like everybody's so scared, it's causing more of a problem because everybody's going to the hospital to get tested, and that's the worst place you can go to you're going to get the coronavirus there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna. It's not a for sure thing, but there's a higher probability. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to say 2 + 2 equals 4. I mean, like, if all the germs and shit are in one place, why the hell would you go there? Especially if hundreds of thousands of people in the past 2 weeks have gone to that place and tested positive for the coronavirus. You don't think the staff, who's an essential worker who has to work because the hospital will shut down if they doesn't have the coronavirus? You see the nursing homes
they're
that the
supposed to
staff
check them
are
every
giving it to the
They
the
check
people
their
that are living in
temperature, test them every day. Like one friend of mine's going to work back to work for construction.
yes, but
And-
you carry this for 7 days, 4 to 7 days before you show symptoms. He was just saying you might be asymptomatic. So they're testing your temperatures every single day but you might have got it 7 days ago, and then on the 7th day you finally incur a temperature, and in that 7 days, imagine how many people you came in contact with that you might have infected. If you see 20 patients a day and you were infected on day 1, you go 7 days without quarantining, you're seeing every single person. That's 140 patients over the course of 7 days. And imagine every single one of them gets the virus, they go back, and the average family size in the United States is like 4. They go back and pass to 4 people each. Those 4 people have like a small group, like we have a small group where we're coming in and cleaning the gym and everything. And there's 3 of us here. And if you figure if every person's doing that, like staying safe and passing on to 1, 2 people, then thus 140 times 4 ends up being what? 760, and then or 560, and then 560 times 3 ends up being 15. You see where this Christmas tree is being created? Like, it just keeps getting spread worse and worse and worse. And a lot of people aren't thinking about this in the big picture. They're just thinking about, like, what if I get it right now? I need to quarantine myself right now with my family. But how many people did you come in contact with in this past 7 days before you finally got symptoms and then you went and got tested?
Then you give it to your family.
Yeah, and it's just like that. That's the problem with this. So what they're doing right now, I feel like isn't the answer. I see that they're trying to save lives, and I do agree with it, but it's not the answer. And at the end of the day, it's still going to happen. It's inevitable. And unless we lock everybody in their homes, it's inevitable. And then you're just ruining the economy in the process.
Yeah.
I feel like there should have been like a 3-week, like, and I guess it's a communist thought, but like a 3-week like mandatory shutdown for the country. We could have like kind of gotten it over with had we like condensed international travel after and stuff like that. I just feel like we have states that are fully open, states that aren't. We have counties that are open and counties that aren't, and the counties that are open, people from red counties are coming. You know what I mean?
My wife's mom is from lives in Mexico. She was visiting California. She's stuck in California still 2 months later. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then what do those people do for like living? Like what's she doing? She has to pay for a hotel every night, or?
No, she's staying with her. She was staying with family in California. But
now what happens if you're on vacation and you don't have like any family there, and the hotels are shutting down? So what do? You're homeless in a different state for months. Like this, it's just inefficient and ineffective. It's not the answer. There's so many different like loopholes.
Well, what is the answer? No one has the answer.
I mean, they're working on a vaccine, but you know how many anti-vaxxers there are and everything. I mean, I'm not saying I'm for or against, but it's still going to be a problem.
Mass distribution.
Even when they come out with the vaccine, there's still going to be a problem. There's still going to be a lot of people because of the conspiracies and everything with vaccines. It's not going to work. We got to develop a natural immunity.
Yeah.
Most of us, at least.
Very true.
Yeah, and that's the concept. The theory of herd immunity is 80% develop immunity, and they protect the other 20% because they're immune. But in that case, you would incur a lot of deaths. But what's as bad as this sounds again? I mean, if 100,000 people die, what's worse? 100,000 people dying in the course of a month, and then us being good, or you just stretching it over the course of a year? You're ruining everybody else's lives.
Livelihood.
Yeah. So yeah, you might slow down the rate of death, but if you would have just let Mother Nature do its work, like our bodies do what they're supposed to, most of us are gonna fight it off. Then you develop this immunity, and the worst comes at first, and then it gets better. But now, because you're trying to slow the rate and you're quarantining everybody, you're slowing the death rate down. So it might end up being like right now we're at 80,000 deaths, 40,000 a month. If we did that for 12 months straight, you got 480,000 deaths.
Hey, I hate to cut this short, but I got to go.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good first.
It was a good first effort. We'll get the technical stuff worked out, and this was easy. I mean, we did an hour straight through, and we could keep going. I just have to. It's Mother's Day stuff, so I got to go. But we know where we're at.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool. So how about Dom? I'll call you in a little bit, okay? And we'll talk about. There's a UFC on Wednesday, so we could do one of these like Thursday, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see if we can all get together. I guess, even if we don't all have to be in the same room, you know, we can do it from anywhere.
No, that doesn't definitely. You guys can just do them from your house,
Practice social distancing.
which actually would be better because you have your own individual microphone.
Yeah.
So okay, well anyway, listen, I got to sign off. It was nice chatting with you fellas.
Yeah. Thanks,
you too,
Matt.
bro.
Have a good day.
Wish it.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.